So you want to become a real estate agent? Well, listen up. I'm going to outline it all for you right here. It's not going to be easy. Like my grandpa used to say, hold on to your horses.
Hold your horses!
Follow me on this one. Welcome back. This is my little office. All right, so I just got this for my son and probably for me too. It's from Disney. Do you watch The Mandalorian? And it's the Darksaber. I had to turn off the lights so you could see it. This little device, great little cool thing. Anyways, I love it. Enough of that. Let's get right into it. The very first question to understand is, what is a real estate agent? You see, a real estate agent is someone that represents buyers and sellers with real estate. Real estate is buildings, it's houses, it's real property, it can be land, right? Anything along those lines. And the average amount of money that most real estate agents make is about $51,000 as of 2021. Now that's all across the United States because there are agents that make millions and there are agents that don't make any money. So I want to prepare you for what it looks like. And this business is not easy. You often hear, I'm getting into real estate because I want to have flexible hours. I'm getting into real estate because I want to be my own boss. I'm tired of working from 9 to 5. And that is the number one biggest mistake for getting into real estate. Because what's going to happen here is if you want to make any money, you're going to be working your ass off. That means you're going to be taking calls at these weird hours. You're going to be working more than 8 hours a day. So be prepared.
I quit!
What?
So how do you prepare to get a real estate license? Well, look, I'm in California. In California, it takes about 135 hours for pre-licensing. Then you have to take the state exam. And once you take the state exam, you either can do it in person. Through COVID, you were allowed to do it online, but your state may allow it online. Some states say, hey, now you have to come in person. But different states require different hours. Now, Colorado, if I remember correctly, has probably the hardest, meaning longest time, 160 hours is what they require for pre-licensing. And some states, if you have already gotten the license in one state, you don't have to take all of their courses in other states. You could just be like, hey, let me go take the exam. Unfortunately, California doesn't do that. And when you look at the most amount of realtors, and I'll explain the difference, realtors, as some people call them, the difference, California has 212,000 realtors and Florida has about the same, 212,000 realtors. Those are the states with the most realtors. Now there's a difference here because there are 1.5 million realtors in the United States and about 2 million real estate agents, so about 500,000 more. So the difference between realtors and real estate agents is that as a realtor, we have to pay the board, the National Association of Realtors, and the local board to belong to a group that allows us to look for property through the MLS, so the local IDX service. And there are other benefits that we get. They have lobbyists for us so that we can remain intact as real estate agents and all of this great little stuff. You can do some research on Google. So as a realtor, there are a code of ethics that you have to abide by. And you don't have to become a realtor. You can just stay a real estate agent, but there are a lot of benefits and there's a cost too. So there's a yearly cost depending on where you're at. Out here in Southern California, I think the cost ends up being about $800 to belong to the board that I belong to. So check in your area. Once you are finished with the exam, so you're pre-licensing, the exam's over, now you've got to work on your mind. This business is not easy. And I mean, you're going to be talking to people that are a little nuts sometimes.
You know them. Franklin, Grant, and...
Get emotional because you get so many different personalities. And if you're already unstable, maybe this job isn't for you.
I quit!
So think about this. You've got to consistently be feeding your mind things that can keep you emotionally stable, whether it's reading more, reading nonfiction, reading how to meditate. I'm not joking. It sounds funny. Reading how to grow as an individual, reading how to grow your business, just continually learning webinars, YouTube videos, as much as you can consume on a consistent basis for the rest of your life. And I think that part sometimes is not often talked about. It's like, oh yeah, just come become a real estate agent. Stop doing the 9 to 5 at your current job. It'll be easy. Just talk to people you know. No, it's not like that. It's tough. And you're probably not going to make any money for the first few months. So save some money. Save some money because you're going to be eating out of that for a while unless you become an admin for a great real estate agent. And then you can learn the ropes. And I suggest that's one way of doing it. The other one is you could become a team member. Part of a team. And I know that teams are growing, teams are great. So find a good team to start with if you do want to go that route and you don't want to try it alone. Now, here are the upsides to becoming a real estate agent. The money is absolutely unlimited.
This is what I roll in. This is the 2021 Cullinan, Rolls-Royce Cullinan.
So I've had months where we make almost close to $1 million. And I mean, those are amazing months, right? It's what's allowed me to be able to grow in all the different businesses that I've done. And the amount of money that you make really depends on you. It depends on how much work you put in, the hours you work, your knowledge, your experience, how much you keep on learning, and what events you go to, what podcasts you're listening to. Again, all of that is directly correlated to you. The upside is that you control that, right? You control how much you read. You control how much you learn. It's all up to you. You don't need an office.
I'll pay for that.
Right? That I think is an upside. I work for the most part out of my home or when I'm traveling and speaking, I work out of those areas, right? But I've got an amazing team. And so you have to take a look at, do you need an office? For me, upside is I can work from anywhere, coffee shop, my home, my car in some cases, right? But that's an upside. And you get to wear what you want. You don't always have to suit up if you don't want to. You don't ever have to suit up. I mean, I don't think I own any more suits. I think I own a whole bunch of black shirts only and jeans, and that's what I wear. But look, it just depends what area you're in, how you feel. This, to me, is a big upside. You can wear whatever you want. Just remember that some clients will connect with you more because you wear a certain thing and less because you wear something else. Some people also say another upside is that you don't need a college degree. You can just jump in with high school diploma and take the pre-licensing exam and then just jump in and take the exam. So that's a benefit for a lot of people. It's a low barrier to entry. Now here's the downside, and I think in some cases the upsides can easily be turned around and say, well, those are also the downsides to this. And so for me, the downside is that you have no oversight. You are your own boss. You decide whether or not you want to show up to work and call that day. You decide whether you want to pick up your phone and call the people inside of this and remind them that you're in real estate, and you decide whether or not you want to show up to work. And I think for a lot of people that come in because they're used to a structure 9 to 5, they don't know what to do with that time. And this is why a lot of people fall out of the real estate business. They just fail because they don't have structure.
You're fired.
To me, it's a downside. This is why during the pre-licensing time, during this time you're getting your exam, study, follow people on social media, listen to YouTube videos, look at what a schedule would look like and continually drill that into your mind. There are a lot of agents in this business, and I consider that a downside because out of 2 million plus real estate agents, only a handful can make a really, really beautiful living. And like I said, the median is about 51,000 or so. That's out of every realtor, not real estate agent, right? Most real estate agents aren't even practicing. Even the realtors who are in this, only a fraction are actually making any money, like massive amount of money. The downside is some months are going to be amazing and other months you're going to make zero money, no money.
In terms of money, we have no money.
Another downside is that the hours are odd. Forget 9 to 5, that just goes out the window. I had days where I was working at 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., showing property at 8 when the sun was down. And other times I'm writing offers at 11 p.m. at night, responding to messages, because guess what? At the very beginning, you don't have the luxury to not hustle. You've got to go and work and work and work. There is no 9 to 5. That doesn't exist unless you don't want to succeed in real estate. Then there's a 9 to 5. There's anytime you want to at that point. Downside to this is just like the upside, you do get to meet amazing people on the upside. Downside, you get to meet a lot of different personalities. And if you are unstable or you don't have a high emotional intelligence, or high EQ, then you're going to have some problems, because some people you will butt heads with because they are strange and they don't always see eye to eye. They don't always talk the way you do. They see the world differently. And if you're not prepared for that, you will struggle. The best thing I can tell you to do is practice being calm, practice getting along with as many people as possible, and you will do well in this business. The biggest downside of all, or maybe the biggest motivator, is that you start from zero every day. There is no paycheck. They're not going to pay you just for showing up. You do the work. Sometimes nobody pays you. You show property. Sometimes nobody pays you. In some cases, you show property and they end up putting an offer with somebody else. Guess what? You don't get paid. For me, the biggest downside, as well as kind of probably the biggest upside, is that you start from zero every day. Everything depends on the amount of work that you do. It depends on the people you meet. It depends on the relationships you make and how you treat people. Now, once you have your license, you pass your exam, you're like, yes. I remember the first time I passed my exam, or the only time I passed it, I guess, because I failed it 3 times. And then I passed it.
Don't worry, Mrs. Puff. I'll try harder next semester.
I was studying for it like if it was a law school exam, because I had gone to law school. I'm like, yeah, got it. I know how to do this. So I studied for it, like answer, and I know this. And I failed it. I was like, what the hell? And I was like, well, let me try it again. So I failed it again. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? And I think it was the 3rd time I passed it. And I think I just memorized the answers. I highlighted the right answers. And it worked. I was like, this is crazy. This is too easy. Right? This is how it is. Anyway, I'll put a link to the school that I used. And I think it's only in California. I'll see if I can find a nationwide one. I'll put the link down below as well. By the way, if you're still watching, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 10,000 people and we're super close. We're like at 9,400, something along those lines. So please subscribe, share it, like it, comment. So once you're all ready to go, these are some of the places or things that you can go and things you should do. So places you should be going to are different brokerages. Check out the different brokerages out there. See what they have to offer. The one thing that I made a mistake at the very beginning on was this. I thought that I needed to be like qualified to work for brokerages. I was scared that brokerages wouldn't take me. I didn't realize that as soon as you got your license, really any broker will take you practically.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And that's where I thought it was the reverse. So in some cases, some brokerages are very picky and choosy, and some teams are as well. But for the most part, you should not have a problem going to any brokerage that you want. Now, the other thing is take a look at the options that you have. There are brokerages out there that have no commission structure, meaning it's 100% commission, right? You get to keep the whole thing, kind of. And then there are other ones that take part of your commission for a certain amount of transactions, And then after that, it's 100% for you. Just decide where you're going to go. You've got options like Keller Williams. You've got EXP. You've got Compass. Now, in some areas, Compass, they may not take you in other ones. You've got Berkshire Hathaway, Remax, Century 21, all the good ones, all the good old ones. But do yourself a favor, do some research. I would probably interview with about 5 of them, take some notes, see which one gives you the best training, see which one gives you the most support because you're going to need it. And in some cases, see which one gives you a mentor. I had a mentor coming through. They would actually go and door knock with me.
Hello there.
I learned a lot from Frank. His name was Frank Pernice. He would go out and door knock with me. We'd write offers together. He'd sit and call with me. I learned a lot from that guy. And Frank, if you're watching, thank you, buddy. This was 18 years ago, so Frank would probably be in his 80s now. So anyways, hey Frank. Next is, let's talk about the activities you should be doing. The very first day I got my license, I went out and door knocked for 6 hours. It was 2004, 3, I don't remember, 2 or 3 or 4 it was. And I went out to door knock for 6 hours. I suited up.
Magari ha bisogno di un abito nuovo.
I am.
Nice shoes, nice shirt, nice tie. And I was like, I'm never doing that again. Dressed up like that. I was sweating. And I had this little old lady say, hey, you know what? It's really hot outside. Do you want to come in and drink some water? I was like, yeah, sure.
Cheers.
I was in my mid-20s, early 20s. And I thought that was the sweetest thing. Anyway, door knocking was amazing for me. And then I did open houses at the time. And I was also calling. And I was also calling. I was young, so I didn't have a big database. But I did reach out to my mom. And I said, hey, Mom, who do you know that's thinking of buying or selling? And she referred me somebody. So my first 3 transactions was one from door knocking, one from open houses, and one from my mom. So thank you, Mom. Next is cold calling. I know a lot of agents who, let's say you're in a new area and you don't know how to break in. Well, pick up this thing right here and start dialing, right? Dial into an area. One company that we love is called RedX, REDX, theredx.com, I think it is. I'll put the link below. But they give you a whole bunch of phone numbers for areas. So let's say you have nobody that you know in an area and you just jump in and like, well, who do I call? What do I do? You can call homes that are being sold by the owner. They're called for sale by owners. Homes that were on the market with a real estate agent and then they are no longer on the market because the contract expired. Those are called expireds. And then just people in a neighborhood that you just want to call up and say, hey, this is Tristan and I'm with so-and-so. And there's a home that just came up on the market close to yours. And I'm just letting everyone know in the neighborhood, just in case you might know of anybody thinking of moving in. Do you by any chance know of anybody? And they're like, no, we don't know anybody. I'm like, oh, how about you? Are you thinking of selling anytime soon? They're like, no, we haven't thought about that. The market's kind of crazy. And then you get into that whole structure. But we use the RedX. That's called geo prospecting or geo leads. And you just call it just listed, just sold. That's another way. The other one is online leads. I know when I shifted in my business during the Great Recession, so door knocking wasn't working for me anymore. Cold calling wasn't working with me. And part of my database was not selling. And so my business went from making $500,000 a year at that time to, I think I made like $45,000 the next year, which was crazy, right? But it went from making a ton of money to zero practically. And I had to shift. So I shifted to online leads. I started with Craigslist. Then I went into Google and Zillow and Realtor.com. Those are very expensive. Here's the thing. This is why I love jumping into a team. If the team is already getting Zillow leads, Realtor.com leads, or even better, Google pay-per-click or Facebook lead ads, because they're less expensive. And you don't want to feed the beast. So go to Google, go to Facebook. In this case, if you can learn to do it on your own, Facebook or Google, awesome. Do it, test it out. But in our area in Southern California, Los Angeles, Ventura County, that's where I'm at. For our area, we're looking at about $20 a lead for Google PPC and about $12 a lead for Facebook lead ads. So that's an option as well. And the most important one is your phone, right? Your phone has everybody that you know and everybody hopefully that knows you. There's a great little app called MC Backup Pro, and it's $3. What you do is you download that one and then you export everybody from this into an Excel sheet. And in that Excel sheet, you're going to be like, oh, this one has no name, this one has no name, this one has a name. Okay, I'll give them a call, let them know I've got my license and I'm working here. I'm working with an amazing company, an amazing team, or I'm on my own, whatever you want to do. But the idea is to put them on an Excel sheet. Eventually, if your brokerage doesn't provide a CRM, you're going to need a CRM. And that's some type of a contact management system where you keep your whole database, right? Now that you extracted it from this, throw it into your database. Now, hopefully you learned some things here as you're looking to become a real estate agent. If you have any questions, please put them into the comments below. Find me on Instagram, obviously YouTube, Facebook, I'm everywhere. If you're brand new, also join our group. It's called Lab Coat Agents. We've got 150,000 real estate agents in this Facebook group. You can ask questions there. Always feel free to reach out to me. And in this journey that you have where you're becoming a real estate agent or you're a brand new real estate agent, always reach out with any questions. Yes, I don't charge to answer questions. I've been in business for a while and I love helping people. Just do me a favor, subscribe, comment, and share this with someone you think will need it.